who's gonna sleep with these ugly ass, broke, crazy, deranged, TDS liberal women?
MAGA Dreamboat Kid Rock has gotten to the bottom of the low birth rate issue. He says it's because nobody wants to sleep with ugly liberal women. The comments stemmed from a segment Jesse Waters did mocking protesters outside the ICE facility where Newark Mayor Ras Baraka was arrested. Take a look.
For months, Democrats haven't won a single round of political combat, but they're starting to organize, and they look weirder than ever. Over in Newark, the blue-haired brigade is fighting tooth and nail to stop Trump from deporting rapists and murderers.
These people don't even speak English, and they're not from the United States of America, and they came into the country illegally.
I want to know where you're from, where this station is from, because the kind of questions you're asking me are very, very offensive.
I think you need to check your facts.
People are inside that facility.
And they're MS-13 members, they're child traffickers, and they're drug traffickers, they're bringing drugs into this country.
They are still human beings.
So you don't care if they're the worst criminal in the world and they have raped and murdered children, they're okay and they're still human beings and they should be here?
I believe that they are human beings and that they deserve dignity just as everybody else.
We believe that if you are in America, you are an American.
I think I saw armpit hair. The resistance is deranged, misinformed, hairy, and rather homely.
Now, he asked Kid Rock to give his expert analysis, and that's when he said this.
When you play your concerts, do you ever see anybody with blue hair, armpit hair, female armpit hair? As some of these people we're looking at, kid, I don't know.
Man, listen, I was just watching your clips, and we have this low birth rate in America, and it all made sense to me. It just hit me right now, because who's gonna sleep with these ugly ass, broke, crazy, deranged, TDS liberal women? I mean, you look at these rallies, it's like a bunch of women that no guy wants to sleep with and a bunch of dudes that want to sleep with each other.
Now, before I bring you in here, Jank, I think we need to acknowledge the point he's making here. And if there is anybody who can attack a group of people, in this case, liberal women, based on their looks, it is Kid Rock. I mean, he is just oozing with sex appeal. We've got another example here. I mean, what a looker. And I think maybe the best photo of him was this one, where some people confused him with Dr. Phil dressed up as Kid Rock.
Sorry.
I mean, Jank. What do you? I mean, what is going on here? Help us make sense of this.
Well, look, we're of the people, and so we asked the people on tyt.com, do you think Kid Rock is ugly? So I voted yes, and so you polls still open. You can go vote at tyt.com. Okay, we just put it up a little while ago, and so and so I'm sure he's not going to be offended, of course, because he's calling other people ugly. So. I mean, you can't catch feelings over that, right? But leave it to the Republicans and the right wing, etc. So my guess is if somebody called Kid Rock ugly, he'd be like, oh, okay, because that's usually how he sounds. He sounds like an idiot. He looks like an idiot, and then he goes around calling other people ugly. Brother, have you looked in the mirror? I know, I get it. You're famous, so if you're famous, you're gonna get some women, etc., and then you're gonna like Trump. Like Trump's like, I got good genes. That's why I'm so good looking. That's why the women like me. You think that's why women like you? Okay, all right. Whatever gets you through the night. Okay, so and usually they live in glass houses and they catch feelings, etc. But I'm sure that he'll be fine. He might go and vote yes himself. Because it's obvious. I mean, look at the pictures. He's gross looking. Absolutely gross, right? So, and then of course the shot at, but maybe the guys want to sleep with each other. Ha ha ha, they're gay. I got it, Kid Rock. That was so clever, right? And of course, gay people by definition are bad. But no, we're not homophobic. No. Hey, gay people, vote for us. We're going to give you tax cuts, but we're not homophobic. But the guys look like they're sleeping with each other. The chicks are so ugly. I'm glad you brought him on for expert analysis. He sounds like such a strategic thinker. And when the right wing talks about liberal Hollywood. They're like, oh yeah, all these celebrities like George Clooney, active celebrities, what the hell do they know, right? Oh my God, it's Kid Rock, it's Kid Rock. Tell us your political opinion, Kid Rock. Yeah, please tell us your opinion. It sounds so smart.
Yeah, it's also telling that the only way he can speak about women is as sex objects. And the only way he can speak about a gay man is in a sexualized way. I mean, that sort of says that kind of speaks to the start and end of his ability to analyze or comment on almost anything. But there's just two other little things to this story that I thought were interesting. One is he was remarking on the totally illegal arrest of Ras Baraka on public land. You know, during when these Congress people went to visit this likely illegal ICE detention center that didn't used to be that in Newark. So that's point one, just the context behind that, right? And so the real story is about ICE and DHS illegally arresting the mayor of Newark in his own city, right? I mean, first. And then second, notice the allusion to having more kids, huh? This sort of strange thing that Elon and I mean, Handmaid's Tale, you feeling that?
Yeah.
Like this, and of course JD, all of them. Like what they mean is they want more white people in the U.S. I think that's what they mean.
Yeah. I don't think that they're that nuanced about it.
They're not subtle.
Yeah, they're not that subtle. And so, look, if you actually want, by the way, everyone to have more kids, okay, I mean, look, I don't particularly care. I know the arguments for why you want more kids for legitimate reasons. Hey, we're worried about Social Security, Medicare, etc. No problem. Then pass paid family leave. That gives moms 12 weeks off after they have a baby. That makes it more likely that they'll have babies. 84% of Americans want it, 74% of Republicans want it. There's no reason not to. Good news, you're in charge now. So Donald Trump could pass paid family leave and everything will be great. Oh, I'm hearing breaking news that corporate donors don't want him to pass paid family leave and Trump is their bitch, so he's not passing it. So instead, they're not doing anything about creating more babies that they say they want. Instead, they're just randomly, Ramesh makes a great point. It's a political protest. Where did sex come into this?
Yeah.
So he looks at a political protest about immigration and goes, oh yeah, man, I got a smart strategic political thought on this. I wouldn't have sex with them.
It's the dumbest of the dumb frat boy thing to say or do.
Yeah.
It's really, you can't do anything else. You can't give us anything more than that.
So one more thing for me, Jordan. Put up the first picture again if you can. So look, it's at this point it's pretty well established that this guy's super ugly, right? So that's not the question at hand. But let me ask you this. Imagine if a Democrat or somebody on the left looked at a MAGA protest and said, well, I mean, look, of course they're protesting in favor of Donald Trump because all the women are so ugly. The MAGA women are gross and ugly, right? What would the right-wing reaction be? I mean, look, James Comey took a picture of seashells and they lost their minds, right? Hillary Clinton said deplorables, they're still crying about it, right? If you called MAGA women ugly, first of all, I'd be against you because that's terrible and it has nothing to do with politics, and I totally disagree. But if someone on the left made that mistake and did that terrible thing and they called, oh my God, they'd want impeachment, they'd be so outraged. But when their side does it, they're like, all right, well, you can't have it both ways. And yes, by the way, Donald Trump is also ugly. He's incredibly overweight, and he goes over to the Middle East. It's embarrassing, right? He's like talking to the Syrian president, who's a bad guy, former ISIS guy, former Al Qaeda, etc. Yeah. And Trump's like, oh, he's strong. I like him. He's really big and strong, beautiful guy, or whatever, right? And meanwhile, he's like going to greet him with his makeup on, looking like he's out of the, from the Hunger Games in the Capitol. And like some kid asked a Republican congressman the other day, why is the president so orange? And the congressman didn't know how to react. Because the real answer is because he puts on so much makeup, okay? Look, if your president is wearing makeup 24/7, don't come to us about looks. All right, go ahead, Jordan.
Well, just want to say, we don't have to wonder what the right's reaction would be if a liberal criticized or made a joke about somebody a woman on the right's looks. We can just look to the 2018 White House Correspondents' Dinner when comedian Michelle Wolf made fun of Sarah Huckabee Sanders' makeup. And you can all, I'm sure you all remember the meltdown on the right that ensued after that. They acted like it was the most egregious thing they had ever heard. Now, this is the same, we need to legalize comedy crowd, the people who are totally fine with, Tony Hinchcliffe's jokes about Puerto Ricans at a Trump rally, or whatever new offensive thing that prominent figures on the right are saying, always couching, oh, it's just a joke, lighten up, you're being so sensitive. We know what they would do if it was the other way around, and it's what Michelle Wolf said about Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah, you know why? Because they're snowflakes. They are. Like the minute they feel slightly insulted, oh my God, the tears won't stop, right? Whereas, okay, and then Trump will say things like, I'm gonna ignore the Constitution and run for a third term, and that's what a dictator would do. And they're like, he's just trolling. He's talking about burning the Constitution. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's just trolling. The minute you say, hey, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, like, yeah. You mentioned her makeup. Oh, crying. Come on, guys.
And it does get at a main point, which is ultimately, while the story is about Kid Rock, it's actually about President Trump. He's the leader. He's the one who's legitimated all of this. I mean, of course, these things have existed amongst men and within the Republican Party in particular for a long time. But from that grab him by the, time onward, we have seen basically, I can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. That has been the behavior. It doesn't matter. Call, Rosie O'Donnell a dog. Call, just call people different things. Talk about sleeping with your own daughter. It's all okay for them. So we don't even need to cry outrage about double standards. We should just expose them for who they are, which are, I mean, honestly, these kinds of men, they're not even capable of seeing any other human being in a way that's not sexualized unless they are just bending the knee to them. And that's basically it.
Yeah, one last point. Let's put up Fredo Rock, the first picture, one more time. If you ask me, this is what's actually lowering the birth rate in America. Just this picture alone. That's all. Sorry, America. Okay, I didn't mean to subject you to how ugly Kid Rock is. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.